guys, it's Jessica. Welcome back to my channel if it's your first time here. Today we will be talking about all things guided reading. I've put a poll up on my Instagram a couple of days ago and I asked, did you guys want me to do guided reading or guided math first? Unanimously, guided reading won. So in today's video, we are going to talk about how I organize my plans, where I get my planning templates from. I will give you a glimpse of my guided reading binder, show you how I organize my stations, my small group, and my station. And I will also show you guys a few station ideas. So if you would like to find out more about how I organize my guided reading block, please continue to watch. Okay, so like I said, this video is going to be packed full of things. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go to a screen recording from my computer, and I'm going to show you guys how I go, where I go, and where I pull my actual small group planning template from. So I'll insert that in now. Okay, so I just started by clicking on Google Chrome or whatever web browser that you use, and I typed in Jan Richardson. These are the plans that I've been using for years, so it's just what I'm comfortable with. So I typed in Jan Richardson. You go to her website. Then once you're at her website, you want to click on resources and scroll down till you see electronic lesson plans. They come in Word and PDF. The Word forms are editable, so once you edit them, you don't have to, change them or anything like that. You just type in and then print them off. So I think I'm pointing at pre-A to emergent. That's kind of what you're going to work right in kindergarten. And then you're going to go from emergent to early in first grade, second grade, and then you're going to move from there to transitional and fluent once you start getting into second, third, and fourth grade. So I just downloaded the emergent form just to kind of go over with you guys what it looks like. So you type in the date, title. For the date, I usually just type in the week, the level, and the strategy focus that you're going to use for that book. And you'll just type in a brief introduction along with the sight words that you want to review. This is emergent. And all of those strategies you will check off as you're teaching. So it's not really something that you can plan before. You just kind of got to watch yourself. And then with the discussion prompts, you just want to kind of type in 1 to 2 questions that you want to ask the children about the book to keep the conversation going and to make sure that you're working on comprehension. And you want to make sure they're different from day 1 and day 2. So that's just a brief overview of how I use Jan Richardson's plans. Okay, so as you've seen from the video, I use Jan Richardson's guided reading plans. They're free. I've been using them for years. It's just what works for me. They're easy to jot notes in as I'm in my small group. So those are just what works for me. And I'll also insert her book in here. It's called the Next Steps for in Guided Reading. So I insert a picture of that in here. I also love that as a resource because it really breaks down and talks about the behaviors of each reading level. So you kind of know, get like an extra glimpse of what kids should be expected to do and how they struggle, and just gives you strategies in order to help kids become better readers. So that's a great resource. Another great resource that I love, and I usually with the Jan Richardson book, I usually just use the one from the school. I don't have my own copy of that one. Most schools that I've been at usually have a copy. I know at the school I was at last year, they gave each teacher a copy so that teacher can have one. So I didn't have to buy it. If I go to my new school this year and they don't have it, then I will purchase it. But as of right now, I don't have a copy of that for my own library. Or if you don't have the money to purchase it, I suggest just going to your local library and just picking it up from there, because it'll be free and you can just go back and keep renewing. So another resource that I absolutely love is my reading strategies book by Jennifer Saravello. As you can see, I still have tabs in it from last year. And what I like the most about this book is inside of the book, I'll just give you a glimpse. It gives you like the strategy at the top, and then like it'll kind of tell you what levels it's for and what type of text. So it's very great. And it also, on some of them, it also gives you anchor chart ideas. So I mean, I like to make my anchor charts a little bit cuter than this, but this is a great resource. And I also have and I use this mostly when I plan for a kind of whole group. Now, my reading coach from last year, she gave me a great idea. She said that she went and bought like one of those sketchbooks, like kind of like the flip sketchbooks from like Michael's, and she just went through one day during the summer while she was still in the classroom. She just went through and just made anchor charts of every strategy that was in the group in that small little sketchbook. That way she had it in her small groups. So I don't think I'm gonna have time to do that this year. I mean, it's a very great idea, but my summer has been so hectic, so maybe I'll get around to it in the school year. But I think I'm gonna do that exact same thing. I'm just gonna go through the book and make all of the anchor charts. That way, when I'm in small group and I'm teaching the strategy, I already have it. So this is a great resource. And she also has a writing strategies book, and it's a great resource as well. So I use those two and the Jan Richardson motto, the Jan Richardson Next Steps Forward and Guided Reading. I use those to help me plan for like strategies and things like that. Now, as far as organizing my stations, and I'm sorry, it's a lot of stuff, so I'm gonna be looking down, looking up, and all that kind of stuff. So as far as organizing my stations on my stuff for small group, I use these Iris project containers from the Container Store. And what I do is then this is just an example. The plan is blank inside of here. So this is just an example. So like what I'll do is I'll put the plan in here. I'll put copies of the book. Usually I could fit all of the copies for my small group inside of this project case. So I'll just take the plan, I'll put the copies of the book in here. I also will make vocabulary cards and put those in there as well. Now, let me get finished. And then like, if we're working on a phonics skill, whatever phonics skill, I make these cards. So I'll just pull them out real quick. So I make these cards. I just bought clip art from Teachers Pay Teachers. And like, this is the CH sound. So what I'll do is like the initial and the final. So what I'll do, and how I color code them is I'll use a red or whatever color Sharpie dot on the back, and I'll put it on the back of the cards as well. That way if they get shuffled, I'll know that these belong to CH. So that's just how I organize them. But like I said, this is initial and final, and I'll make these cards and they'll just have a picture on them, and we'll talk about the sound, and we'll talk about whether we hear it initially, finally, and then we'll build some words with that. So, but I'm going to get more into detail about that in a second. So this is how I organize my my materials for the small group. I put them all in these little project bins from the Container Store. Now, they also sell these project bins in Michael's, and when Michael's, when you see that, when Michael's has that lowest prices of the season sale, when they have like all the storage like on sale for super cheap, you can get these project case bins for $4. So they are super affordable, and I have 5 for reading and 5 for math. So, and I'll show you how I organize for math later, but this is how I organize them for reading. And I took the sticker off, that's why you see this like sticky stuff on it. But what I'll do is I organize my reading groups by zoo animals, and my math groups by ocean animals. So I'll just put like whatever for reading, I forgot which one I said. For reading, I'll put whatever animal on top of here, and I'll just peel the sticker off at the end of the year. Because last year I didn't use animals, I used colors. So I had a color sticker on here, but now that I'm going back to first grade, I like to use animals. So that's how I organize my things for small group. Now another thing that I use is I color code the folders like according to the animal. So for instance, my dolphins would have blue folders, and inside of these folders, they're simple. I'll just write the kid's name on the corner. As you can see, I'm already prepping. I'll write the kids' names on the corner, and it's just blank notebook paper inside. So if they need to practice writing sentences, or if we're like making a list of the phonics words and all the things, they'll have it in here. And the reason why I color code them is because, like, say like at the beginning of the year, a child is a crab. Crab is a red folder. So let's say when I do the running record at the end of the month, or after a month and a half of being in school, they move up to being an octopus. And the octopus in my classroom is orange. Orange is a higher group than red. So when I move that red folder to that orange bin, that shows me that that child has shown growth. Does that make sense? And then when parents come in and they have conferences with me, I'm actually able to show them the colors and how that child made growth. But I'll also show you another thing that I use for parents in a second. But I have 5 folders of each color. Sometimes I might need more, but I just initially start off with 5 of each color. And that's how I organize student folders. So when they don't have to bring anything to my group, when they come to my group, I'll just pull everything out and I'll just have it, and they know to grab their folder. So that I also use those. Another thing that I like to use in my small group is a tabletop pocket chart. This thing is life. Okay, so I'm opening it up. I got it from Learning Resources. I actually got it from being in a phonics class. I didn't pay for it. It was given to me. It was part of being in that class. But as you can see, I can prep for 2 groups. So it has like pockets in here, or I can prep for 1 group. Well, if we need to practice reading sentences with like the different punctuation marks at the end, we can practice those. And then on the flip side, if we want to do a sort from, you know, true or false, or compare and contrasting, we can also put those in the pockets as well. So this is very, very helpful. I love it. And I also love that it doesn't have to like stay taking up a lot of room on my table. I can just fold it back up like so. Hold on, I gotta figure it out. Here it is. Just fold it back up like so, and then I just slide it onto my shelf, and it's not really, doesn't really take up a lot of space. So this is really helpful as well. It's a tabletop pocket organizer. And what I'll do, and I think it's only $25, but what I'll do is I'll just put a link to everything that I mentioned in the description bar below. But this is really, really helpful. Another thing that I like to use, and I'm just trying to pull all of my stuff. Another thing that I like to use are these clear, like transparent, I'm trying to open them up. These transparent little counters. I like to use these when we segment and blend words. So as you can see in here, I only have like red, yellow, green, and blue. Like, so I only have those 4 colors. So like red, of course, means final, and green means, you know, start. Yellow is where you slow down. So what I'll do is, like, if we're practicing with phonics, they'll slide these transparent discs. They'll slide them as we're practicing the words. And these are also really affordable too. I think you can get like a pack of 200 of these from Amazon for like $5. So these are super, super, super affordable. And I got this case from, I want to say Michael's. I can't remember, but it was so long ago. I've had this for so many years, I can't tell you the price, but I'll try to look it up, like I said, and mention and put a link in the description bar. Same thing with the transparent counters. Now, you don't have to be this, like, you know, fancy and get one of these transparent counters. They sell those trays at the Dollar Tree, and that's what I used to use before I found this tray or whatever. So that's these are good too. I love using these. Now, another crucial thing that I like to use in my small groups are the skinny expo markers. I really don't like to use the fat ones because they're like, it's hard for the kids to write with. I like to use the smaller ones because it's just easier for the kids to write with, and it's just easier for the kids to write with. I don't know how else to explain it. So I love using these with the Dollar Tree erasers. So I love using these. And I also have, I couldn't find them when I went to my storage. I didn't want to dig and find them. That's what it was, because I don't feel like unpacking all that stuff. But I also use that Lakeshore has these mini what's the word I'm looking for? Dry erase. They're really small, and I like using those in my small group versus the large ones that take up a lot of space. And sometimes, if I can find them, I also have like the dry erase circles that are already on like my table, so I'll just use those. So I think I bought some of those from Target. The dry erase circles, I think I bought some of those from Target for like $3. It was either $3 or $5 or whatever. But I'll show you guys those in another video. I'm trying to organize this stuff because it's a lot of stuff. All right. So the next thing that I want to talk about is my magnetic letters. Oh, I have this classroom letters kit from Lakeshore, and let me just tell you that this is a holy grail for me. I mean, if you just open it up, it has literally so many, like, look at all of those letters. So these are a holy grail, not only for my small group, but also for my stations as well. I'm able to make enough for 5 students in my group and still have some left over to put in stations if I need to. These are a holy grail in my classroom. I absolutely love them. Now, here's the thing with these. They can be very pricey. If you do not catch them during a sale, you're going to pay $50 for these. But now through September 1st, they have this, Lakeshore has this classroom letters kit on sale for $25. And you get an extra percentage off. You cannot beat that. You can't beat it. Like, you can't beat it. So if I were you and you need some magnetic letters, now I see a lot of teachers, what they'll do is they'll go to Target and they'll buy like the magnets out of Target in the dollar spot. So let's say they spend $10 on the magnets from Target. Okay, so they spend $10, they got 10 sets of letters. Okay, good, great, that's cheaper than this. But then they'll go to Michael's or another place and they'll pay like $13, $14 for the little organizer to put the letters in. You just spent $24. When you go to Lakeshore, it's spend $24 to get this. So it's virtually the same thing. You're spending the same amount of money. So these are absolute holy grail. Again, I didn't purchase these for myself either. I got them when I took a phonics training, so I was lucky, but I promise you I had them on my list. And when I got chosen for that phonics thing, I was like, thank you, Jesus. I did not have to buy them because I was going to buy them at the beginning of the year when they were on sale, but then they chose me to be in the phonics cohort, and I didn't have to do it. So got me some for free. All right, but these are absolute holy grail. Now, organization of these. I went to Dollar Tree, okay, and I bought five, what are these? Cookie sheets. I went to Dollar Tree and I bought 5 cookie sheets. I got this template from Just a Primary Girl, and what I'll do is I'll link it. You see that? That one's on top of glue. That's why it's not staying. But I'll link the link to her store, her TPT store in the bottom. But what I did, I just got it from her. I think the organization thing was like $3. You can't, like I said, you can't beat that. And I don't mind paying for something on Teachers Pay Teachers as long as it's under $5. Let me just say that. And as long as it's organization. I really don't get like instructional stuff for there. But that's neither here or there. But look how neat this organizes. I mean, and it's magnetic. This one's not sticking because it's glue under here, so it won't stick, but they're magnetic. So now when my children come to the group and we're working on phoneme segmentation or substitution or deletion, if we're working on things like that, I can just give each one of them a tray. They already have the letters on it and they just build on the table. Also, with my lower students, I'm able to just like call out sounds and they're able to like identify letters, or I'm able to call out letters and they're able to identify them. So this is a great tool, and I have 5 of them. So that's how I organize those. And you see, I mean, they don't stack with all the letters on them. I stick them in like a rack that sticks them like this behind me, but easy organization, simple. Very simple. And at the end of the year, I'll just take all the letters off of UC. They store pretty easily. But again, I paid $8 for this organization, so that's that. All right, another thing that's a holy grail that I love to use in my small groups is these word builders. What they have, these are actually, I don't actually use them as word builders. Like I use them as if I'm teaching a sound. So like, let's say I'm teaching a long E, double E sound. This is the one that I'll pull out, and the children know if we're making, if we're making words and we're using a long E, this long E is what we're working on. So it has the vowels that are green, and it has the blends, diagraphs, all kinds of things. And it has them in beginning, middle, and ending sound. So that's why they're color coded. So it's really helpful just to pull out while we're working on a specific skill. All right, so those are that. Another fun thing that I like to use in Target, and a lot of this stuff is new, and you will see why at the end of the video. But another thing that I like to use, and you can get these from the party favor section of Target, but another thing that I like to use are these little googly eyes. Like the kids like to put them on their fingers, and as they're reading a book, tracking along, like the eyes will be looking at the word. Kids love these. They love these. And they were only, I want to say $3. I think they were $3. Yeah, they were $3. And like I said, you get them from the party section at Target. Now I also saw these at, I want to say Michael's, and they had like neon colors at Michael's. So Target or Michael's, and I want to say they were sold like separately at Michael's versus like at Target. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in here. And at Michael's it was like 1 for 99 cents. So and I'm saying I think, because I really do think, I can't remember. So yeah, and excuse my hair. It's one little piece. Act like it doesn't want to lay down. Okay, but yeah, $3. All right. Now, Jessica, how do you organize all of those things? All right, so and excuse me for being out of the frame. I got these bins from Big Lots. years ago. As you can see, it's been through the water and through the wire. One side doesn't have the little bar and the other side doesn't. But if you're a true teacher, you know that these things at Big Lots, the bar doesn't stay on them for long. I paid $3 for these, and like I said, I got them from Big Lots. Run to Big Lots and get these. I have them in black, gray, and teal, and every year they change up the colors. So what I'll do for my small group is I'll take this where I organize the my stuff. It goes inside of the bin, and their folders go inside of the bin, just like that. Simple. So when they come to my table, when I'm there transitioning and changing groups, the only thing I have to do is go behind myself, pull it, sit it on my desk, take out my folders, sit them on the desk. If we're doing phoneme segmentation, take out my letters, but everything else is already in here. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple transition. It also allows me time if I need to get up and go redirect a student, or get up and go have a conversation with the group, or it gives me time, because I'm not pulling from this drawer to grab this, or pulling from this drawer to grab that, or pulling from this. Everything is just right here in this bin. And I have them stacked up on a shelf behind me. Now, typically what I'll do is I'll use a different color bin for reading and one for math. But I'm starting to get to be more, I want to be more clean with everything. So I'm starting to want to use just one color. And I'm actually thinking about going back and getting white. But we'll talk about that later. I was about to get straight. I was about to go off topic. So, but yeah, I store everything in this bin. I'm gonna pull it out and put it out for the kids. Now, as far as station ideas, I want to just talk to you guys briefly, and I'm sorry, I'm really trying to organize this stuff, but I have so much stuff to talk about. Now, first we're gonna talk about stations, and then I'm gonna give you, and then I'm gonna show you the inside of my guided reading binder. All right, so let's talk about stations for a second. I love 2 stores on TPT for reading and phonics stations. The first one is All Students Can Shine. I love All Students Can Shine's materials. The kids love them too. Like, I printed off one of her things and I just kind of tested it out with my students. They loved it. They were so engaged. It was just perfect. Like, it matched perfectly to what I needed to do in my classroom. So I love using things from All Students Can Shine, and I'll just tag her store down below. And the other store that I like purchasing things from for reading is A Year Mini First. I think her store is called A Year Mini First. Her reading stuff and her math stuff, but her reading stuff is bomb. Like, bomb. Like, it's just bomb. It's so rigorous. It's not like, because a lot of stuff, and I'm just being transparent, a lot of stuff that I have found on TPT that I have purchased has been like fluff, like just fluff. And I'm like, this is not what I need. And this, I kind of got upset about, wasting my money. But I was talking to another teacher at school, and she was like, you need to check out this store. It's where I go to get all things math. So I checked out her store, and I love it. I love, like I said, All Students Can Shine. I love her stuff for reading and phonics, and I love A Year Mini First. So that's where a lot of these materials come from, and then some of them I make on my own. I'm just being honest. Like, some stuff I make on my own, some stuff I'm not afraid to purchase. Or like what we'll do is we'll do like the multiple license, and like we'll go in, like if it's 2 of us, we'll buy 2 licenses of it, and we'll just split it in half, and we'll go in and pay for it like that. But this is like, I got this from All Students Can Shine. Yes, this. So it's, let's use different colors to circle all the sight words in the story. So this is they're practicing reading, they're practicing identifying their sight words, and I'll give them these colored expo markers like this. I'll give them that because it says use different colors. So I like to use these in the station. I also like to use these and I can't remember where I got these from because they don't have a thing, but I know I didn't make them because I don't use this font. But it might be the same store where they have to read the card and they have pictures to match. So this is another great station that I like to use, and this video is going to be lengthy, but I'm trying to give you guys a lot of information. And for like phonics, and I want to say, yep, all students can shine. Like this is a blends match, and I put everything in these bags, everything, and I'll put the instruction card so they'll have examples too. Now, what I do with these bags is I had colored bins that matched like the animals. So like the crab's bin was red, the seahorse bin was yellow, the octopus bin was orange. I had those, but my classroom was like, it was too busy for my eye. It was just too colorful, and I know if it was too distracting for me, then it was too distracting for my students. So what I'm currently trying to find is a way for me to organize these in like better, like using less color. Like if I could use like one color, like a light blue or something like that. But what I'll do is I'll just stick this in other activities. Like I'll just find other activities or make other activities really quickly over the weekend to put down in it. So if like this group is working on blends, I'll put different activities that involve blends, enough for them to complete for the week, not for the day, in like that bucket. And I'll put it, like I said, in buckets that are kind of similar to these, and they'll have a picture of whatever their animal is on the outside on the bin, so they know when they go to that station in the room, they can just go grab that bin and everything that they need is in that bin. So that's that. Another thing, got lip gloss on it. I want to show y'all some other letter ideas. If you don't want to purchase the Lakeshore, I'm gonna show you some other letter ideas. I'm sorry. All right, so another thing I like to use are Bananagrams. I love using these. I caught these on sale, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago. I ended up paying like $3 for them. But if you've never heard of Bananagrams, it's kind of like Scrabble. They have they're just little letters and they're black. And they also have a Bananagrams kid version. Like this, I guess this is adult. They have a kids one that has like different colors, but the kids love these Bananagrams. I think they love the fact that it comes in this banana more than they actually love the actual Bananagram. So those are that. And then I also went to like, you know, a Lakeshore, or like we have School Box here, or your local school supply store, and I bought these actually my first year teaching. So I've had these for 9 years. So I've had these for a long time. But they're Scrabble, the big Scrabble pieces. The kids love these. I laminated them, and like I'll put like a word list, and like if we're working on blends, I'll leave the blend out. Or, you know, if we're working on long vowels, I'll leave that out of the word, and I'll make a list, and the kids can spell it out on the carpet. They love it, because you look over there and they're all, you know, they're talking to each other, sounding it out, like they're actually practicing a rigorous activity. And I think these cost me like $4.99. Then it's the kids' favorite center. Like when I taught first grade a couple of years ago, and even when I was an interventionist, if we had Fun Friday and I was like, okay, you can choose something, but it has to be educational, they were fighting over going to the carpet to play the Scrabble. So they love these. And if I could find these like on Amazon or something, or in a Lakeshore or the School Box, I'll link those below too. But the kids love these. So these are another great example. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch the camera to my guided reading binder. And then I'm going to show you how I organize my binder, how I organize my data, and how I use it for parent-teacher conferences. So we're about to switch over to that. Okay, so I have my guided reading notebook here. Those are just some close reading things. And excuse my table. I'm painting something. So there's a little bit of paint on the table. And I didn't take out my data from last year. Yeah, I'm painting the past thing that I got from Target. There it is. I didn't take out my data from last year, so I'm going to try to blurt out students' names. Okay, so the first thing I put is the Reading A to Z correlation chart. It kind of helped me tell the difference between, like what the levels were with Reading A to Z to Fountains and Pinnell. Now, I also have a reading level correlation chart. I like to use this when I talk to parents and parent-teacher conferences. Now, I'm going to show you how I keep the beginning of the year and middle of the year. Those are our reading inventory scores, so I keep them there. And then we had a thing called touchstones in the last district I was in, and I used those there. I collected that data there. Now, here are my plans. I'm going to try to not show the student's name, but here's just a brief, summary of my plans. And I have them for each 4 groups. I was lucky to only have a small class size last year, so I really didn't have a lot of kids. I had less than 20 all year. So I separate those, and I'm just flipping through here. I think I'm trying to find the group notes. So that's when I write the vocabulary words and the students define them, and I write it in pencil. I was trying to find where I take mini running records, but I couldn't find it. So I think we're going to find, there's another example of vocabulary there. Now, also in my book, I keep a tab for each student. And under each tab we do a word knowledge inventory at the beginning of the year. All of the running records that I do on that child throughout the year. All of that information is right there. So when I have a parent-teacher conference, I just pull it out, and I'm able to show growth throughout the year. And I also make sure I date everything so parents can make sure that they see growth with their students, because that's very important. There was a running record, and I flipped right over it because I didn't see it. I'm looking for something now. I can't figure it out. So let's see. What am I looking for? That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to hide that child's name. So here's the assessment tracker that I use. And I make sure I write the date and the signature. And it says instructional, independent, or frustrational. And I'll circle wherever the child scored within for that date. I'm trying to cover the name. Look, I'm trying to cover the name, and I'm not. There it is. And there's that running record. So that's pretty much all that I keep in my guided reading notebook. That is just milestones data from last year. So yeah, and that's why I keep extra copies of running record papers. So that's my guided reading notebook. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any other questions, please do not be afraid to contact me on Instagram at Milkshakes and Magnolias. I will answer any questions that you have. I think once I get into the classroom and the school year actually starts, and I actually am able to really show you a guided reading block, one of my guided reading blocks, I'm going to film it so you can actually see what goes on in my classroom during guided reading. It's one thing to talk about what goes on. It's a whole nother thing to actually show you what I actually do. But this is how I organize everything. And organization for me is the first step. So I'm so glad that you guys stuck it out with me. I know this video was long. I know I gave a lot of information. I don't know how to stop talking. I'm trying to get my videos to be under 30 minutes because I know when people see that 36 minute, they're like, I'm not watching a video that's that long. But I promise you, I'm getting better. Like, I'm getting there. So again, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you like what you saw, please do not be afraid to share me out on Facebook, to share me out on Instagram, to tag somebody in the comments below. Please do not be afraid. Like, this information is for everyone. It's for everyone. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back with another video quite soon. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.